everybody, Nick here with Starfall Sabers, and what we have here are two unique sabers. You've most likely seen them on my Instagram or Facebook, but I wanted to go into a little more detail how these sabers are unique and basically a new type of product that I'll be offering in the future. So for years I've wanted to do like a removable chassis system that's all metal. You see amazing artisans like Harp, and he does these incredibly intricate crystal chassis that are all metal that completely remove from the saber. And I've been too impatient to just sit down and try to work out all the engineering for that. But I've known that I most likely could do something like that. But I had a particular client who pushed me to do this for this commission here. And he had asked for a fully removable metal, all metal chassis with crystal integrated into it and all that. Basically, you know, with all the blinkies and all the cool blingy stuff. And this was a commission that he had picked up one of the canceled spots. And so he kind of challenged me to do that with his saber. And so that's what I did on this one. So I'll show you this. I've also, again, showed how these come apart and revealed them on my Instagram and whatnot. And so this saber here, this was an Etsy order. Originally, it was the actual last mystery saber. I know I had posted what was the last mystery saber, and that's because this client who actually had the last one, he's had really nothing but high-end sabers from me, and then he bought the last mystery saber spot like over a year ago. But he had reached out to me on Etsy and asked basically could he upgrade his saber to something more akin to like my Starfall originals, which, if you remember, I've done Starfall original number 1 through 3, and those are like super high-end one-off sabers that are just ready to ship. But I just haven't had time to do those recently. Still something that I'll continue to do once I'm free of my Etsy backlog and have started kind of ramping up on my commissions. Then I'll have time here and there to do those. But he had asked if he could just upgrade, so when it was time for me to build his mystery saber, it would be Starfall original number 4. So that's what this is here. Now, because I wanted to see where I could push my skill with a fully removable crystal chassis, I did another one here. So this was prototype number 1. I learned a lot and then was able to incorporate some newer ideas into this one. And I have another one for David, the Saber Museum, that I'll be doing before the end of the year as well. And so with each iteration, I'm learning more, and I'm figuring out space requirements, making sure that they're all easily installable. That was key. So I've been working with Carlos from Kessel and Chris Skinner from Cast Designs just to make sure that what I'm building, they can easily install. So it's been a fun process, and I'm learning a ton, and so I can't wait for each new iteration. But this is something that I am going to start offering. I'm calling it the Starfall Elite Crystal Core. So if people want to upgrade their commission to that, it is going to be an additional $1,200 because it's a ton of work. But let me show you. Let's first do this one here. This one, because my client, he collects high-end knives, and he that have like a lot of hidden features. So I did this cool magnetic gold-plated steel kind of reveal panel that shows some of the crystal core. So you have your copper upper part, and then your brass. Now all these areas will have blinkies. I made it so that this part also removes. There's a set screw here, and that'll hold a 3D printed chassis that's not flashy at all. It's just meant to hold the electronics, which in this case, it'll hold the speaker, it'll hold the battery, which will be removable, and then it'll have LED accents here and through here. Now, the sound card will sit up here. There's enough space to have it protrude a little bit, so you'll have access to the sound card and some other functions through these milled out slots. So that's this one here. Now with this Starfall Original number 4, I wanted to see if I could get the length of the saber down a little bit. This one, because of this angled pommel, it's a little bit longer. I wanted to see if I could make it more compact. So with most of my builds, they are like 80 to 90% scratch built, and then utilize found parts that I most of the time heavily modify. And that's true with both of these sabers. I did use some of the Master Sentinel pieces from Saber Bay. I had bought one from him to actually just, cannibalize like I usually do. So I usually, I'll either incorporate found parts from, other saber builders or their runs, or literally anything I can get my hands on, thrift stores, hardware parts. But again, I follow that rule of 80 to 90% scratch built, and then I engineer and heavily modify, or repurpose and reuse in a different way, different found parts. And I like doing that. It makes for really unique sabers. So with this one, kind of a very, very simple, understated design but still very interesting to look at in my opinion. But we have a removable core here. So unscrew this thumb screw. And we have copper and brass. So this will give you sound card access here. I just have a little test fit chassis in here. Magnetic. It'll have shine through. You can see through the little metal grating here and here. And you'll have dual window crystal chamber. And then another vent here for blinkies. Now I designed this as well. There's a set screw here where this pommel comes off, and again you'll have battery and removable battery access, and that's where the speaker will be. And then this whole section will also remove with these 3 set screws here, so that the different components can be easily wired up. That was a big thing that I wanted to do with these. So yeah, that's just a little more detail on the Starfall Elite Crystal Core chassis. And this is something that I will offer as upgrades, and then you'll probably see them as I do more Starfall Originals. I'll probably do more of this type of work. As you can see, heavily inspired by Harp's work and others who have kind of pioneered that. This is just my take. So thanks for looking, and reach out if you have any questions.